Alright, so today I'll be reviewing The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I know I just uploaded my Amazing Spider-Man video, and if you haven't checked it out yet, click the annotation link below, check it out, and but if you have seen it, just stick to this review, and if you don't want to see the Amazing Spider-Man review, then don't bother. Okay, so, The Dark Knight Rises, what did I think of it? I actually thought it was probably a really good, solid adaptation movie. Not adaptation, what am I talking about? A solid, good movie that Christopher Nolan made. I mean, he's had that track record. I mean, he's had, whatchamacallit, Insomnia, and I think didn't he do, what's that movie called? Memento, I believe? Yeah, Memento, Insomnia, Prestige, Batman, Dark Knight, Inception. I mean, he's got that track record now, and it becomes really predictable. So I already knew this film was gonna do good, even though I was like a little skeptical about it because it's the third movie, and you guys know how third movies are with that syndrome, the third one always sucks. So it kind of blew me away how this one actually turned out well. But you know, let's get to the point. Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, obviously he does a good job. Still, to this day, I still think he's the perfect Batman on live action. Now, if you ask me for, like, in general, I have to say Kevin Conroy. I'm just saying. But, Bruce Wayne just goes through a lot of stuff in this movie. I mean, it's been like 8 years since The Dark Knight passed, and a lot of emotional shit has gone down. A lot of them. I'm not going to mention the story one bit because I feel like in this review I don't want to spoil anything and just let you guys go watch it because I feel like this is not like Amazing Spider-Man where I can talk about them because I feel like you have to watch the movie to kind of get what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I mean, and, a lot of stuff just happens to Bruce Wayne and Batman. I mean, his character, like, it takes another step further from me, like, from where Batman begins was with, The Dark Knight. It's kind of like another progression level state, and I kind of like that from him. It gave him a lot of character development, and, I mean, yeah. 8 years of pressure has done something to Bruce, in a good way, though. Next, we're about to get to Selina Kyle, who's played by Anne Hathaway. Now, compared to Emma Stone, I wouldn't say she's my favorite. I'd say all I'd say is that she's a good actress. I mean, the only movie I remember seeing her in was Get Smart. I know there was another movie I saw, but I can't remember at the top of my head at the moment. But I mean, as Selina Kyle, she did a pretty good job. I mean, her character, her, the role, like, her acting ability with it matched up pretty well. And it's funny because, a lot of people, at the time, they were thinking, like, wait, Anne Hathaway is Catwoman? Why? And I mean, and I can see why they're saying this. It's because, they didn't think Anne Hathaway could be, sexy, which is kind of what she did. So she kind of proved them all wrong, and I kind of saw that coming too, because I'm like, guys, don't underestimate chicks. They have their ways, which is actually true. They do have their ways. But, like I mentioned before, Anne Hathaway did a pretty damn awesome job. I mean, acting, performance, character development, all good. And Commissioner Gordon, Always a Boss by Gary Oldman. You know what? Heck, I might just say all the cast is good. I don't really think there's any problem. I mean, you go for Michael Caine and Lucius Fox, or should I say, Morgan Freeman, and then you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who actually was a pretty interesting character, because, I mean, he's pretty much that character who's kind of inspired by Batman, and he's trying to, clean up. He's trying to do what he knows is right. So he's kind of like Batman's ideal. So, yeah, his character's kind of interesting. And then when we get to Bane, they finally do him justice. I mean, if you remember from Batman and Robin, that little piece of shit. I'm not even gonna mention it. Ugh, it was too painful. Actually, I guess I will. Before I did see the movie, I had a 12 and a half hour marathon of Batman, starting from the 1989 one all the way up to The Dark Knight. And when I got to Batman and Robin, I was like, oh god, this is not good for my eyes. And the reason why I was saying that is because I had to watch through the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, god, I'm about to pass out. But I decided to just go through it anyway, just because I don't know. I have to go through the pain of watching that piece of shit. But Bane's finally done justice in this movie, and he breaks Batman's back. I'm like, yes, yes, do it, break him, Nightfall moment. Then again, this is just my fanboyism coming out. And I mean, I guess the only thing that kind of bugged me in a way is his voice, because I'm just like, wait, hold on, that's Bane's voice, really? But I mean, it takes about maybe a minute to adjust to it, and then after that, it's like boom, it's fine. So Tom Hardy is Bane, perfect, good job. I mean, I don't even know. I think he makes sense. Perfect, good job. He also he did perfect. Great job, great performance. And who's the? There was another character too. Miranda Tate. I know that's the character's name. I mean, her. I know she's played by Marion. Coteledade or Colin Date. Ugh. It's it's like her last name starts with a C, so I mean, I can't remember, but, her character was pretty interesting. I mean, when I first saw her, like, wait, it's her real small, but then, as the movie progressed on, it kind of there was kind of an importance for her character in the movie, so I'm not gonna mention that, but, it's good. I loved it. I mean, if you have to compare between, the other two, I have to say this one's better. But then again, at the same time, certain people have their certain opinions. They're like, well, I think The Dark Knight's better than this, but and then there's the other group of people that are like, oh, but I think Dark Knight Rises is better than this. But so personally, on my level, I enjoy The Dark Knight Rises more than The Dark Knight, mainly because it wraps up the trilogy. I mean, Christopher Nolan did not waste his time making this. He was like, okay, this is gonna be the last movie. I'm gonna spend as much time as I can, wrap it up in a bow, and present it to the audience. That's pretty much what he did. And it's the first trilogy that does really good. I mean, normally the first movie's good, second movie's really good, and then the third movie sucks. This one, I mean, this time it's like all wrapped up in one nice little bow. And I mean, anything else I need to catch up on? Story is, like I mentioned before, or if I didn't mention it, it's a lot better than The Dark Knight. Although it feels more, it's funny because it feels more like a tie-in with one than it does with The Dark Knight. I mean, the only reference there is to The Dark Knight, which, okay, guys, I think I might as well do the spoilers. So, like, right now at exactly 8 minutes and 40 seconds, I'm about to start. So, the only thing I kind of have to say from The Dark Knight is probably Harvey Dent. They kind of mentioned him up a lot in the movie, so I guess in a way that kind of adds him in. They don't mention the Joker up for some reason. I can understand not having him in the movie, but they should have brought him in. But then again, I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan has a good reason of why he didn't do that. And let's see, Cillian Murphy was in the movie too. I mean, he was the judge, which is actually kind of funny because I mean, I feel like his character, like, as a judge, he went somewhere, but I'm just like, well, his main focus was really in Batman Begins. I mean, after that, it's like, he's kind of had short roles, which is not bad, but I would have kind of actually liked having him to have, like a full-on role, like, actually have him do something. But, I mean, like I mentioned before, before I say anything else, let me see if there's anything else. The ending of the movie, though, this is a pretty big spoiler, since I've also mentioned that how the spoilers have been going on. The ending of the movie, when you find, when Batman sacrifices himself to destroy the bomb, and if an explosion hits and he's honored for the city of Gotham because he's hailed a hero, and then Bruce Wayne, you see him dead, and Alfred's crying, and then he goes to Italy or France or something along those lines, and he sees Bruce Wayne with Selena Kyle, and I'm just like, yes, they got together, but then I remember, I'm like, wait a minute, or is Alfred having a dream sequence? I mean, Christopher Nolan, what I've noticed from his past movies, he always likes to leave his endings. He likes you. He likes his audience to talk about this. So I mean, it's the ending is pretty much left to you. I mean, personally, I think Bruce is alive, and I mean, it's a happy ending, and it wraps up perfectly. I mean, especially with John Blake, who's portrayed by um, what's his face? I just mentioned him, but right now, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, when you find out that his real name is Robin, and he gets the stuff from Batman on the cave, and he finds he discovers it, and a lot of, and I mean, could this mean we could get a possible Nightwing sequel? Because I don't really see this as him becoming Robin. I mean, because the symbol that was on there, it felt more like it felt more like the symbol that Nightwing had. But I'm kind of rambling on a little bit, guys. So my final verdict on The Dark Knight Rises, I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Well, actually, no. I didn't really see there was that many problems in the movie. I mean, other than the fact with Bane's voice in a way was kind of a little hard to understand, but, again, 4.5 out of 5 is where the movie is at. Now, compared to the others, in my personal opinion, I liked it better than The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. But, you know what, guys? That's pretty much it. I'm Shirag, and see ya.